How's it going, everyone? My name is Alex and welcome to another beginner Fallout 76 guide. In this video we will be talking about workshops. So what are workshops? Well, workshops are basically like player camps, with the exception that they have their own resource pools that you can use to craft various things inside the workshop. And if you happen to run out of resources, then you can supplement with your own resources. Just make sure you have enough either on you or in your stash. Now, workshops can also be contested by other players. So if you find someone constantly bugging you and trying to sabotage you, then you can simply server hop and go to another server and start over. Now, workshops are also very good for getting item rewards, plans, and a bunch of other useful stuff upon completing the defense quest. Basically, when you claim a workshop, you will have an event, maybe a couple of them, where you have to defend the workshop against a small invasion of NPC armies. So once you do that, you will be rewarded, and in addition to the resources that they normally yield from extracting them. So this is probably not the primary reason why people take them, although it can certainly be useful to extract all those resources if it's a bigger workshop and has a lot of them. But basically it's a very good way to farm plans and other item rewards and things like that. Before you actually move on the map and take a workshop, you need to be at least level 10 to 15, unless you're going with a workshop that has very low level enemies. Other than that, you also need to be decently supplied with guns and ammunition, maybe armor, a little bit of cams for healing. And if you're a complete newbie, then you also need to familiarize yourself with how the camp building system works, because it's pretty much the same system. So before taking a workshop, it will be very useful for you to build your own camp and get a feel for how that system works. And to start off, you should always go for your first workshop, always go with something that's very simple, very small, easy to manage. And then as you keep learning and keep gaining experience and keep leveling up, then you can start contesting higher difficulty workshops in higher difficulty areas of the map. Now also, if you get a workshop that another player has recently held and all of the gear is still there, then you won't need to craft that. You might just need to craft whatever is missing. Otherwise, you will probably want to craft a little bit of defenses such as camp turrets, and eventually you will gain access to better ones. And always try to position them on hard to reach spots, because melee mobs won't be able to deal with them, and they're very useful in defending the workshop. In fact, if you get invaded by melee mobs and you have a bunch of turrets that are very hard to reach or otherwise impossible for them to reach, then you can pretty much defend it on your own. Actually, you can defend the workshop with those turrets, you don't even have to be there. But usually when there's waves of enemies, there will be a mix of melee and ranged enemies, so it's recommended that you're there. Now, another thing that you should consider getting is a fusion generator plan, because workshops, when you craft all those extractors, all of them require power. And if you can get a fusion generator that provides a bunch of power and you have some decent cable management, then you can save yourself a lot of resources and repairs in case that something gets damaged while you're not there. Alright, so one of the tips that I can give you, and I really wish I knew this when I was starting out, is if you want to quickly locate resource deposits, then open the map, review the workshop summary, the little window that shows you what's available, then open the crafting window or the crafting system, then simply select a resource extractor that corresponds to one of those resources and take a look around yourself, and the interface should automatically show you where it needs to be installed. So this is very useful in case that you don't want to lose time searching for all those resource deposits. Simply use the extractor and the game will show you where you need to install that. Now let's talk a little bit about different types of resources. Now basically the food resource means that the workshop is capable of either producing food in some type of a machinery, or it has a plantation where you can simply plant different plants and vegetables. So either way, you will be able to see approximately how much you can get away with. And in this workshop that I'm showing you here, it has a big farm where you can plant a bunch of stuff, and often you might even show up there and a lot of stuff might be planted. So generally speaking, when you see a plant that has a wild prefix, it means that it's there by default. Anything else means that it has been planted by another player. Same thing goes with ammo production. If a workshop supports ammo production, then you will have a terminal where you can program which type of ammo you would like to produce. And the same thing happens with food. You can produce usually a couple of different items and you can switch them up. You don't have to keep producing one item. Now, water means that you can also get some water from the workshop, and you do that by simply placing water purifiers. And the amount of water that you see on the summary window basically tells you how many purifiers you can place. And of course, you always have to connect all of that to a generator. So I would say if you can get the fusion one, that would be probably your best bet. So now that you know all of these things, you should be ready to take your first workshop. If you're at least, I don't know, maybe level 10 to 15, just to be safe, to have some basic weapons, ammunition, armor, maybe camps for healing, like I said. And basically, workshops are also a good way to level up and get lots of rewards, because you can also keep looting the NPCs that you kill. You can also keep getting experience. And if you can capture a couple of workshops and keep alternating between defending them, then you will definitely get a lot of rewards, items, planned experience, and other things like that. But only take workshops that are in your level's proximity area. So if you want to stay safe, don't travel all the way on the other side of the map to claim a workshop in a zone that you've never been before. Who knows, maybe you will be having to defend against level 50 mobs, and that is going to be very painful. So I hope this video helps you, and as always, I wish you all the best and good luck in the wasteland.